Thank you very much. I know post-lunch, my request is, so that we feel at least like a family, I request all of you to come and join. I will request all of you to come forward. Come, please. It'll become easier to do eye contact, and we will feel like a close-knit group. Thank you. Life is all about adapting to change. I had planned a very theatrical entrance, and now it'll become a little exaggerated for this audience. Let's do it, right? 5 या 50 क्या है? Great. So assume that I was still sitting on the chair. And my introduction was done. And then this is what would happen. And then I would have rushed towards my laptop and say, "Arey, kya ho gaya bhai, mera low charge." These days, when our phone or laptop shows low battery, we run towards the power socket as if our life depended on these devices. When was the last time we did that to ourselves? These days, we started treating our cars better than ourselves. If you're driving a car, it starts making a noise, guess what is going on in your mind? First thing is, you go to the workshop. I should not get stalled somewhere. But when the same thing happened to us, those of you especially who live in India, we run a pharmacy at home. Right? In fact, one of the doctor friends told me, you know what is unique about India? In India, हम हॉस्पिटल जाते नहीं हैं, हमें हॉस्पिटल में लाया जाता है. In India, we don't go to hospital, we are brought to hospital. That's how we treat ourselves. In the cyber world, we know exactly which operating system is running the latest software and new features. And we go and upgrade our operating system because we want to get maximum performance out of whatever we have. And we are imprisoned by the operating system of the devices that we have these days. But at least we know what kind of operating system our devices have. And even my mother knows she has to apply patches at the right time. What about our own self? And those of you, I'm assuming all of you, are connected with human asset management and growth of those assets in an organization. How much of effort we put in upgrading that inner operating system of our organizations. I just want to run a fun exercise. I started talking to Siri. Hey Siri, let's see what Siri said.
Hey Siri,
Hello there.
can you maximize your performance?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Can you work faster?
I don't have an answer for that.
Work harder.
I'm not sure I understand.
Are you silly?
I'm Siri. I'm just trying to do my job. If there's anything else I can help you with, just let me know.
Although you might not have heard this, but that's what employees in our organizations also saying. Work hard. Why is actual column not matching with the planned column? And the person saying, I don't know. Only thing is they are not saying it like Siri is saying it here. We have not understood the operating system of individuals who collectively create actually inner operating system of the organization. But we are issuing commands. No wonder people are stressed. I was reading one research conducted by LinkedIn, 55% of Indian professionals, they feel stressed. And you know the reasons, so I'm not going to get into the detail. But we take care of everything when it comes to technology, cyber world, business world. But what about our inner operating system? And this has become area of my passion, obsession these days, because I think as we are growing up, everything that is taught to us is all about how to make a living, not how to live. And then we get into the world of dilemmas, which we were never prepared for. And my pursuit now is, first I tried with corporates, but I realized by the time we are grown up, we are cement here. So I'm trying a lot with the educational institutions, teenagers now. I hope as people will become more aware of the inner operating system, we would know why we are doing what we are doing. And collectively, this iOS of all the individuals in your organization put together becomes iOS of the organization. Until we know this, and until we know how to create an environment in which this iOS can give peak performance, we can keep beating, we can keep doing things externally, but we will not be able to create willing peak performance of organizations. And this is the iOS, by the way, if you have not given a thought before, which interprets all the signals from external world and creates the world of joys and sorrows. Although people like me and maybe many of you, when we introduce ourselves, we have to use that abused term whether you like or not. I'm a motivational speaker. But we really don't need to motivate people. Motivation is within. And I think all coming down to the bottom base, there are only two motivations for humans. Towards joy, away from sorrow. That's it. That's it. And that iOS interpreting everything that we are seeing is creating either experience of joys or sorrows. Question is, how much focus in organizations we have about thinking on this dimension. So what is required? Let's do one social experiment. Person gets into a subway, doesn't know anyone, then he does something really bizarre. And people are looking at him skeptically. Are you nuts? And then magic happens. Laughter is the shortest distance between two hearts. And as we were fighting the lunch slumber, just looking at those laughing faces, I guarantee has changed your biochemistry. And if you have started to feel little bit connected with me, I tell you this session is going to be much more effective. And that's what we forget. Many times I'm sure you also get this compliment. I get it very often. When parents tell me, wow, what were you talking to my son or daughter for last 2 hours? They don't talk to me even for 10 minutes. The reason is, whether it is our organizations, whether it is our leaders, we think that I have that moral right to tell you what to do, and you better listen to me. And you know what human beings do? When somebody does that, we resist. Because we try to change people, transform people, inspire people before connecting with them. And the connect cannot happen with knowledge. It has to be at the emotional level. And if you're I'm from electronics background, if you know the terminologies of electronics, we call it, we have to connect at the hardware level. Physical data link layer, way below logic. Because if I start throwing knowledge at you, You will take out those fords of ideas from your head and say, okay, come on, I'll also do a duel with you. But if I sneak in through your ears and touch your heart, I think you'll create the pathway for me to reach out to you cognitively as well as emotionally. Just a thought for you. We are talking about reimagining happiness and its role for business success. And one message that I want you to carry back to your leadership team: let's connect with people before we start trying to transform them. So what is the agenda for you? Today it is just happiness agenda. It's about business success. That's what ultimately we care about. And I love this saying from Ratan Tata that food is very important for life, but that's not the only reason we live. Similarly, profitability is very important for business, but that should not be the only reason for business to exist. I did my doctoral research on happiness because I was so sick of getting unhappy. I thought PhD kar dalte. And the inspiration was Bhutan model. And you know what? Bhutan's king, he updated his constitution to say, we want to take gross national happiness index as our measurement criteria for governance. And the reason being, if a government cannot take care of happiness of the people, there's no reason for government to exist. Amazing, isn't it? A country changing constitution to say that. And I believe the same thing for corporates. If we cannot create delightful experience for our customers, there's no reason for us to exist. Because if customers are having delightful experience, business success, there's a direct correlation. But we often not ponder what creates delightful customer experience. It's adaptive and peak performing organization. Now this is where we stop. Maybe we have knowledge of the next layer, but ask yourself how much effort your organization is putting to the next layer, which is employee delight. When I go and propose to HRs that I've gone through all this grind, pain, challenges, and now I'm conducting happiness programs, and engineering happiness is my trademark actually. So one HR friend finally told me, I wasn't sure why people are not accepting my proposals. And she said, Arun, you have to change your program's name. I said, why? I spent last 7 years researching happiness. Why should I change? She says, if I organize this program called Engineering Happiness, then people will think that our employees are not happy. It goes against me. I would rather conduct programs like innovation, negotiation skills, communication skills, agile, Java. There's a truth in it, right? Painful truth. We want our companies to succeed, but we don't want to spend on our employees to be delightful. In fact, one person told me, Arun, no conversation of happiness. You need to put your business hat on. I said, why? Boss, those are salespeople, yeah? I don't want them to feel contented. Business need. So this is having problem actually. Let me just share a story with you. We had a storytelling session today. If you missed it, I'll try to make it up for you here. What is the challenge? How many of you are from HR fraternity? Wow. When I'm saying fraternity, not the service providers, but actually in the corporates or any organization. You're managing HR, right? Oh, then it's a story for you. You'll love it. There was a town, actually a small village. Roads were not very good, and there was only one cobbler in that city. And that cobbler was so good at what he used to do, and such a good-hearted person, he won't turn even a single person away, whoever will come to get his shoes fixed. Every day he used to work morning till evening with all his heart. But in that busyness, he forgot that his own shoes were getting torn. And since he had no time, too busy taking care of others, that his feet had blisters. Now he had no time to even treat his blisters because he was taking care of people and fixing their shoes. Soon, wounds became painful. He couldn't come to shop. And now there was a problem because he was the only cobbler in the town. And within a month, the whole village was limping just because that one cobbler did not have time to fix his own shoes. So I was asked that I should talk about book of reflection. That book was written with the intent that there'll be stories with no moral. So I just told you a story with no moral. What do you take away from this story? What's the story for you? Self-care is important. We often forget about it, right? Now put your HR hat on and tell me what is the meaning of this story for you. Or fixing their shoes. Sorry. Yes. How much time we spend, I mean, just imagine somebody tells me I don't have a budget. When I moved from engineering into marketing, don't tell this to your marketing folks, but I'm telling you a story. When I moved from engineering to marketing, in engineering we wanted to have a weekend party, and they'll say, no, we don't have budget. Then I moved into marketing. I was in the US. We went to Las Vegas. There was a conference. And if one of the largest customers that I don't want to name right now, you have anybody, director of above from that organization with you, you had license to kill. And we went to the best of the resorts. We had the VIP lounge. The same bottle that would cost you X was costing like 5X, and we were partying. For an engineer, that was like, wow. If this video is seen by other people, they're going to just kill us. We don't fix our own shoes. Make sure that you're fixing your shoes. Those employees who are taking care of everything else, if they are not taken care of, what does it mean to take care of? And why happiness is so important? We'll come to that in a minute. It's all about you. It's all about that employee delight that you need to create as HR leader. Otherwise, you know what will happen. See, we are divided by many things, but we are united by one thought. And that one thought is very simple. Can you guess what it is? We are divided by religion, region, language, departments. One thing is common. Love. Even more foundational. Yeah, love is good. At the end of everything, even if you decided to come and listen to me here today, there was a hope that somehow what you learn today is going to lead to your growth. That growth will lead to your success. Success will lead to your happiness. At the end of it, it's all about success. And beyond success, it's about joy, happiness. When I was doing my research, I went to prisons. I spoke to criminals, not the serial killer type, regular ones. They'll also convince you whatever they did was with the hope that it's going to lead to happiness. So in the end, everything is about happiness. That's why this concept is so powerful. Just imagine your son or daughter is going to a new college. Either you can ask 25 questions. So, is your college good? Teachers good? Stay, food, everything else. And the kid is saying, none of it matters to me actually. Why are you asking these questions? Or you can ask just one question. You joined a new college. Are you happy? If the answer is yes, you get your answers. The person also gets taken care of all his or her needs. Yes, I'm happy. If they say no, then a very important second question, why not? And you'll get insight that can really make your workplace a beautiful place to come and work. So it's all about pursuit of happiness. But it's not just laughter, smile. Now there's a lot of body of research. For example, Harvard University ran a very large 2-3 years long study in which very quantitative results, productivity, sales performance, etc. I just want to let you know that it's no more a smile and laughter conversation. There are real benefits already being seen. And there's another very large research that I was going through, which says there might not be a direct correlation between happiness and business numbers, but there's definitely an indirect correlation. So if you're happy, you're going to be more collaborative with your colleagues, and that's going to impact the performance in a positive way. Doctors, just because they were told something positive about themselves, they had 20% better diagnosis and accurate diagnosis compared to the control groups. Things like this. So, happy employees, business success. But ultimately, the question is, can happiness be engineered? And this is the question people ask me. You are saying your company is happiness technology, your program is engineering happiness. How can two sit together? So I was an engineer, very logical brain. I wanted everything to happen within the sphere of my control and influence. So I thought, can we translate happiness also into a sphere of influence, if not control? So I'm going to share my point of view with you. This is the traditional mindset. Work hard, achieve success, be happy. This is how we grew up, all of us. 10th, our parents told, this is the formative year. Work hard, you'll be successful, then you'll be happy. Then 12th, same thing. Then graduation, same thing. Then job, same thing. Promotion, same thing. We were in constant cycle. This is what I am inviting you to think about. The reason we have come on earth is to live joyfully. That should not be the effect, but the cause of we being here. Same thing, when people join job, they should not be, I have to go to my office. We have to convert that into, I want to come to the office. Because the day you have done that, then all other conversation in which we are spending so much of time and money, oh, my team members, they are not showing accountability, ownership. Yes, because they have to come to office, not they want to come to office. So that have to has to become want to. And for that, first sutra I gave you was connection with the heart. We have to connect with the people, not direct people. And second, we have to create an environment in which people feel that they are joyful, they are able to express their creativity, because when they are happy, they are more creative, and when people are happy and creative, success. And happiness leads to success a lot more than success leads to happiness. So what was the magic that I found through my research? 8 dimensions of happiness, whether it is in your personal life or your professional life. Probably take a look at these and see if you can bring these elements alive in your corporate. I was able to map it to happiness. Being a brand guy, I had to find an acronym. Healthy mind and body, amicable relationship, purposeful life, pursuit of excellence, inter-role harmony, needful prosperity, effective team management, which is time, energy, and attention management, and finally, stress management. So the whole architecture of happiness that I've created is around these 8 dimensions. We will see if I have time, then I'll get into detail. But I think the most important ones are purposeful life and amicable relationships. Now you'll say, how's that? All my life I'm told health is wealth. If you don't have a purpose in life, waking up in morning also will not be very exciting. No purpose, why should I wake up? So purpose and the alignment of individual purpose, when it happens along with it matches with the organization's purpose, I think have to's become I want to. That's just to make that acronym to be happiness. Yeah, but self-care, wow. That was mental well-being. Health and healthy body and mind. But yeah, that's a good one. Which circle is larger? The left one, A or B? Smaller, the red, orange circle. Which one is larger? Right one is larger. At least that's what it is appearing to be, right? And I know that all of us know that both are equal. So just knowing is not enough. After knowing also, we don't do it, that's our problem. So I hope whatever you're nodding today, I know that you know most of the things I'm talking about. Probably I'm here today as that catalyst that wants to say, boss, time to take care of yourself first. At least fix your own shoes. When you fix your own shoes, then you will probably go back to environment. And instead of looking at numbers and people being entry on the spreadsheet, I hope you will see my face in them and say, no, no, they are human beings. Unfortunately, in today's world, few professions that were supposed to be professions of passion, they have become purely professions for making money. And one of those professions is medicine also. And I find a very interesting simile between reimagining happiness in this dynamic business environment and healthcare. And I'm going to sprinkle those similes in my conversation today. Taking that simile to one level up, I find role of HR leaders as Vaidya. So Vaidya means Ayurvedic doctor. And why is that? Ayurvedic, which is alternative medicine of India, alternative medicine doctors. I find HR's role to be that. Why? I'll tell you in a minute. Just knowing is not enough. I want you to go back and start thinking on these things. So how do we reimagine role of happiness for business success? As I mentioned to you, what we call today healthcare actually is a lie. It is disease management. Healthcare happens in a fruit and vegetable shop, not in the pharmacy. And in the modern management, whichever pain is more severe, we take an antidote and kill it. Because we want that immediate relief. We don't worry much about long-term side effects. Whereas in alternative medicine, the intent is to find root cause and address the root cause. And I find a very beautiful analogy between incense sticks and an aromatherapy candle. If in a large room, you want to power it up with nice aroma, you light up incense stick, wonderful. Fastest method of making this environment smell good. But you know that it's harmful because that smoke is not good for you. It gives you headache in long terms. And aromatherapy candle takes time. The aroma spreads gradually and slowly. But when it happens, you feel spiritual. And that's the kind of environment we need to create in our organizations. Not the one where happiness, I have more pressing needs, and we press those needs by issuing directives based on carrot and stick, either making people fearful or greedy. But there's a better method, which might take a little longer, but it'll be for long-term happiness. So what do you want? What do I want? How do I perceive role of HR community or leadership? Chi. See if you can include Chi part of your business dashboard. And Chi stands for Corporate Happiness Index. And since I said that your role I see as alternative medicine doctor, you have to measure Chi. And those 8 dimensions, if you remember, we can do a gap analysis and see how at the individual level we can bridge that gap to create happiness part of the culture in the organization. So what are the 5 Gs of happiness? Takeaway. Can you guess what this can be? As India is rolling 5G, I thought as a takeaway, memory mnemonic, I'll give you 5 Gs of happiness. Can you guess what this can be? Hearty giggle. When we smile and laugh with people, when we laugh together, we live together. Our culture kills nature's antidote for stress by saying, don't laugh, you're laughing too loud. Nature has given this to us. Kids laugh 200 times a day because nature knows how to reduce their stress level. So first G is giggle. Can you guess this one? G, gratitude. Great. We all know the importance of it. But again, we know we don't do it. Can I request something bizarre? I would request you to just take out your phone, pick a name that's significant to you, and write a message that shows your gratitude. Let's do it. No need to write the disclaimer that Arun is standing and asking us to. Write it with your heart and soul. And as you're doing that, just experience the emotions. If I asked you to rate your happiness index, and now that I can see many of you in smiles, see if that index is going up even by 0.1%. If we had longer time, we would have said, okay, experience some imaginary time with that same person, see how that person has touched your life and stuff like that. Just by saying that, I have anyway triggered those thoughts, right? You started imagining that time. A small exercise like this can put a smile on your face. And when you have smile on your face, your biochemistry has definitely changed, and you are in a better position to make more sane, creative, and positive decisions just because I forced you to do something which was positive. If this becomes our nature, just imagine what we can do. So second G is gratitude. Third one, can you guess? Growth. When we learn, we grow. When we don't, we age. Choice is ours. And I think this is another thing we need to make sure. I did one 360-degree survey for an organization. And these leaders are not writing their IDP. Even today also, I was just chasing them. Can you imagine? This is the leadership team. These are the HODs. They have not connected that feedback means I have to learn something so I can become better. They are taking it on their ego. They are saying, "Arey, we will do. This is IDP, na? We will take care of it ourselves." So I told the CEO, no. See, if it is personal, that is different, but their attitude is also affecting their team members and hence the organization. So somehow, let's put them together, we'll inspire them. What is the resistance? We need to find out. Growth, very important. The reason to come here, one of the reasons to come to this conference, when I was in my last meeting, I was presenting. And this is the organization where I am on retainership. And one person who's considered very candid, or you know what I mean by when I'm saying candid, they think that they have license to say anything to anyone. And he says, "Arun, I think time for you to upgrade yourself." It didn't feel good that time, but it really inspired me. And since yesterday, I've learned a lot. Fourth G, goodness. This one sentence has changed my life, and I want to offer this as a gift from my side to you today. Do good to people not because they are good, but because you are nice. Do good to people not because they are good, but because you are nice. This gives me so much of joy in joy of giving. And last but not the least, now you can see, giving. People say, now that you have done PhD on happiness, tell us something very easy, how I can experience happiness. And we have all heard giving makes you feel happy. I want to add one more qualification to it. Do something for someone without expecting anything back. That will bring happiness to you. Now I want to take it one more level up. Human beings. Even if I do something for my daughter or my wife, there's this business mind here which starts expecting something in return. Not that I have done, you should have said thank you to me. So I'm adding one more qualification. Do something for someone who for sure cannot do anything back to you. And see what your experience is. So fifth G is giving. I hope you'll bring these G's into your life. I talked about alternative medicine. I talked about you folks being healers. You have a bigger role to play. Doctor can either treat disease or like holistic medicine, they treat human beings. Stop looking at people as numbers in the Excel spreadsheet. Know people. Know them. Your role is not to fix. Your role is to understand, inspire. Because when you start flourishing, with this thought of helping people, understanding people, you change those lives, and collectively, you also change your organization. So I end with saying this. In Ayurvedic system, which is alternative medicine of India, it was believed that if you can treat a disease, you're a good doctor. If you can anticipate the symptoms, treat the symptoms so a disease does not happen, then you're a good doctor. So from average, you have become good. But if you can help people in such a way that they don't fall sick by ensuring that they have the immunity required to fight all the changes in the environment, then you are a great doctor. I'm pretty sure the unfortunate experience of COVID has taught us that if your immunity was good, you survived. And those, whether they had millions or billions, did not matter if they were not built within to face the change, they did not. I think you have the most important role in an organization. Now, what kind of doctors you want to be, average, good, or great, I leave it to you. Namaskar. I just want to leave my coordinate with you. Our role is this. We take people from where they are to where they want to be. That's how we become transformers. And if you want to reach to me, you just run between A and B at arunb.com. That's my website, and those are the social media channels. I hope you'll connect with me, and we'll stay connected forever. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you very much, and pleasure being here.